In fact, your show is going to be the very first Christmas show we have ever done on the road. This is a little revelation. I love Hallmark movies. My wife and I never miss them all through the year. The joy that I truly feel in my heart toward Christmas is expressed on that stage, and it's infectious, I can tell you. There's no doubt about it that you're going to know I love Christmas.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, come on. No, come on, Winston. Get up here.
Okay.
Yeah, no. They want to know what it was like to be on America's Got Talent.
Welcome to the Zarlengo Foundation Unlocking Learning Disabilities Podcast. Today we have something a little different for you. We'll be talking with this year's headliner, Mr. Terry Fator. We will talk about his Christmas show, how he started in ventriloquism, and we have a special guest for you. I hope you enjoy this conversation. All right, so I just wanted to thank you for joining us today on the Unlocking Learning Disabilities Podcast. I appreciate it. And so you were our headliner in 2018 with your Vegas show. So tell me, how is, obviously, besides the big obvious, how is A Very Terry Christmas different than your regular show?
Oh, it's completely holiday centric. It's mostly Christmas because most people celebrate Christmas, but we do have one of the characters is Jewish and he celebrates Hanukkah, and we have a puppet that has invented his own holiday. We'll let him tell you what that is when he gets there. But it's just really one of those kind of shows that will just make you feel so happy that the holiday season, even a person who doesn't like the holidays, is going to feel holiday spirit when they see my show, because the puppets are just so joyous, and we really do some different fun things that we have moments where you're going to be like, oh, that was so sweet, and then other moments where you're going to be laughing really, really hard. But just the whole thing, I'm a kid, and I never got out of my 5-year-old Christmas spirit. And my wife and I actually collect Santa Clauses. We have and this is interesting. My house, we had to do a photo shoot for 2 years ago for Christmas, and we did it in June. So we left our Christmas decorations up. And I begged my wife. We have had our Christmas decorations up now for 3 years in our house, and I've never been happier. I absolutely love it.
It is the best time of year. It is. And our show is so exciting because it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So it's like, let's just kick off the whole holiday season, all at once that Saturday. How fun. So this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time you've taken this show on the road. Is that correct?
It most certainly is. In fact, your show is going to be the very first Christmas show we have ever done on the road. And when I was told by my agent that we had several venues that wanted me to bring the Christmas show, I can't tell you how excited I was. I'm like, this is fantastic. The Christmas show is my favorite time, and I just can't wait. Now, I'm one of those people, so I know this is before Thanksgiving. I wait until after Thanksgiving to start the Christmas show in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. But I start playing Christmas music November 1st in my car and in my house. And this is a little revelation. I love Hallmark movies. My wife and I never miss them all through the year. And man, I'm telling you, it's so great because I watch Great American Family and I watch Hallmark, and Great American Family started their new Christmas movies this past Friday. And so what did me and Angie do on Saturday? We watched the Great American Family Christmas, and I think Hallmark starts this next week. So
they do. They start on Friday.
And we keep our television set all day. I keep it on either Great American Family and Hallmark, and we watch nothing but Christmas movies throughout the entire holiday season. And I love Halloween. Don't get me wrong. In fact, our house is all decorated for Halloween now, and I love that. But Christmas, I can't get enough of it. I love it. I love holidays. So the thing is that the joy that I truly feel in my heart toward Christmas is expressed on that stage, and it's infectious, I can tell you. There's no doubt about it that you're going to know I love Christmas and the holiday season, and it's just going to be so infectious, and everybody's going to walk out of that show saying, man, am I ready for the holidays now?
I am so excited. This is going to be so good. I remember when you were here in 2018, we had talked about your Christmas show. So our board was like, we have to do this some year. We have to do this some year. So when we found out you were going to tour it, we were like, no brainer. We have to do this. So I know why we brought you back, but can you tell me, I'm sure you get a lot of offers throughout the year to come bring your show, but what made you want to come back and do another show, for us or with our foundation?
Well, because first of all, I love your foundation. I work a lot with people with disabilities. I work with Opportunity Village here. I work, and even I was just telling my wife the other day when we were talking about this show that I'd started doing ventriloquism when I was 10. And I would take my puppets and I would go to seniors' homes and different things. And then when I moved to Corsicana, Texas, when I was 14, there was a camp for people with learning disabilities and with disabilities. And I would go out there every summer and I would do shows and work there. So it's always been close to my heart to help those who need help and to bring entertainment and a smile. And there's something so special and wonderful. We have my wife Angie and I have several friends who have children with disabilities. And they're so precious, and they teach us so much about life, and they teach us so much about unconditional love, and so it's such a joy to be able to work with places that are near and dear to my heart. Let's put it.
Yeah. Well, we say here all the time, your kid will change the world. It's really hard right now, but these are the kids that will go out and, change the world we live in. So do you have any of your own personal experience with learning differences, or, you've just been around them and so that way?
I don't. I never have. In fact, I've always been kind of on the opposite end. I was always a fast learner when I was young. In fact, I'm that kid that all the other students hated because I never even cracked open the dang book until the night before the test, and I would just scan. I read at 1,800 words a minute, and so I could just scan the book and I could just go in there and ace the test. It was nuts.
Yeah. So lucky.
So now. Yeah, very lucky. But let me say, getting older, it's not that way anymore. I still do read really fast, but my memory, getting older means that I have to work much, much harder to memorize things than I did when I was young.
Sure.
But it's about the connection between human beings and people, and that's really what it's about. It doesn't really matter. And I've always felt Albert Einstein said that if you tell a fish and a monkey to climb a tree, the fish is going to seem like an idiot, and the monkey is going to seem like a genius. And I've always been a person that says every human being that is born on this planet has a role and has a gift. And you just have to find where that gift is, and you just have to find what that role is. And I just feel that every person is valuable and important, and there's not one single person that is not that does not deserve to be absolutely loved and cherished.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So tell me, how did you? I don't know if you've seen, but our board has tried to do some ventriloquism, and we are no better than we were in 2018. But tell me, how did you start that art? I mean, how did you become interested in that particular art?
Well, it was my fault.
Wait, what? No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I started.
No, can you stop?
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I just had to interject.
Right.
Hello.
Okay, so that's Winston. So actually, Winston didn't come along until America's Got Talent. I had a Kermit the Frog puppet that I wanted to use on America's Got Talent, but the Muppets wouldn't let me. So I had to get a turtle who could do an impression of Kermit the Frog, and that's where he was a.
That's not a true story.
Yes, it is. Stop it. Okay. So anyway, I was 10 years old, and I was researching to do a paper on Valentine's Day. And back in the day when I was young, we had actual card catalogs where you had these big shelves. We didn't have computers like they do now, and we would have to go through and flip through the cards and find, using the Dewey Decimal System and find it. Well, I overshot Valentine's, and I landed on a book called Ventriloquism for Fun and Profit, and something in me just said, well, that sounds interesting. We'd had a couple of ventriloquists come to our school and church. And I thought, I'm sitting there looking at the book thinking, wow, I do the talent show every single year in school, but there's always somebody else who does what I'm doing. I would do poetry reading. I would do piano recital. I would do singing, and all, little acting. And there was always other kids who did all of those other things, but there was never a ventriloquist. And I thought, hey, this is going to give me a leg up. I'll have something that none of the other kids do for the talent show next year. So I checked the book out, went down and bought my little puppet at Sears, and the rest is history, man. I just fell in love with the art.
That is so cool. That's such one of those right place, right time, and here's how it worked out. That's awesome. Really fun.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you. I had a kid the other day that I was telling that I was coming on the podcast with you, and they said, "Can you ask him something?" And I said, "Sure, maybe." And they said, "What is it like being on America's Got Talent?" So, can you tell me what that was like, that experience?
Well, this is a perfect one for Winston. Winston.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, come on. No, come on, Winston. Get up here.
Okay.
Yeah, no. They want to know what it was like to be on America's Got Talent.
Well, if you want to win, you got to find a turtle who can do impressions.
Well, that's a really good point because let's be honest.
I won America's Got Talent.
That's right. It was Winston's talent that won the show. There's no doubt about it. But I got to tell you, it was a lot of hard work. So if you think you're going to get on the show and you're just going to breeze through, first of all, it's surreal when you're on because suddenly you're in front of millions of people.
Which doesn't bother me. I just go in my shell.
Right. But I don't have a shell, so I had to just sit there and do the thing. But it's very surreal because suddenly every week you're in front of millions and millions of people, and then of course nowadays that we didn't have social media like we do now. But nowadays you'll get on, suddenly you'll have millions and millions of hits all over the world of people watching your bit. But the key is go in prepared. I had 3 hours worth of quality material that I had honed over 20 years of working. And so it was really not a matter of what I was going to do. It was a matter of what I wasn't going to do. And so I just had to pick the best of the best.
And then when you decided to have the turtle sing,
that's what won the show, right?
Yeah.
But that was a weird thing because that was a last minute addition. My sister had told me that my impression of Roy Orbison was one of the best she'd ever heard. And I had never done it with using ventriloquism. And so I just told Winston, "Can you do it?"
And I said, "Yeah, of course I can. I can also do, hey, Kermit the Frog here."
Right. So he did the impression of Kermit the Frog. But it's a lot of hard work. And another thing is, if you win the show, that's when the really hard work starts. If you want to have a successful career, I have never stopped working since I won the show. But if you're doing something you love,
it's horrible.
No, it's not. No, if you're doing something you love, I was not going to say it's horrible.
Oh, I was just trying to finish the statement.
I know you were. If you're doing something you love, you never have to work a day in your life.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I could not agree more. One last question for you. How do you decide on which puppets to bring? Bing Crosby or David Bowie or however. What do you do? What's that process like?
Well, each one depends on what type of impression they're going to do. Like I have a black puppet named Julius, and he's the one that sings all of the Motown, and he'll sing, those kinds of things. I have Fernando Francisco, who is a Spanish puppet, and he sings Spanish songs like Feliz Navidad, and he sings Silent Night, Noche de Paz, is what it's called. It's a Silent Night in Spanish. So it really depends. Vicky the Cougar sings Santa Baby, the old Eartha Kitt version.
Santa Baby, just let the sable under the tree.
That one. So, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, well, I am an impersonating turtle.
That's true. You are. So each puppet really is there for the purpose of what type of song they sing. So once I put together and decide what songs I want to do, that's when I decide what puppet is going to be able to go up and be in the show.
Makes sense. Well, I just want to thank you again for your time today. And we are so excited. We'll be just about a month away this week. So we will see you on November 18th at the Belco Theater. And we still have some tickets left at asx.com. So we are very excited to see you in about a month.
Please buy tickets. It's for a really good cause and the best show in the world because I'm in it.
That's true. He's right. Buy tickets. It's for a really good cause, and you're going to absolutely love the show.
Yeah,
awesome. We are so excited. We are so excited. Well, we will see you in about a month. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.